Again, install and set up WordPress, create your template files, are due by the end of the week. If you do not see your name linked to a client staging area here on the Spring 2017 student list, please make sure that you then get your client staging area set up so I can link to it, okay? Again, let's see, who should we pick on? Who should we pick on? Trang. So here is Trang's client staging area. Trang is sitting over there. She's really embarrassed right now. Look at her. So, hi, Trang. So, you know, just somewhere so I can take a look at your templates, your proto-site, etc. So, I don't know if you really need a contact form on your staging area, but, you know, that's cool. I'm not gonna, you know, it looks great, right? So again, if I didn't show you the other day, on Monday, for Choose Your Site project, I did edit the assignment just a touch in terms of creating client staging area. I want to be able to see your templates. I want to be able to see your proto-site, and then I just need a link to one GitHub repository. I don't need a separate templates and separate proto-site repository. Your template repository is going to become your theme repository, right? So I edited my client staging area to then say templates. Look, I can see the home page. I can see the main page. Proto-site, here's the demo for the class, Java update available. So here we are, Spring 2017.01. So currently you can see that, wait for it. Currently you can see that on Monday we put content into our sites, and then we set up the navigation schema, right? Repositories. So currently, if we look at our Spring 2017.01 repository, currently you should just have your templates in here, right? But again, if this template folder is moved then into your themes folder, how many times do I have to ask Dreamweaver to open? Do it. I don't know. Let's see. There we go. Wait for it. Wait for it. Sorry, I did try to open Dreamweaver when we started class, so. So in your WordPress folder, then again, in your WP content folder, in your themes folder, right? This is where, did I move my template in there? Let's go to the two content themes. Okay, so here is, apparently I didn't, I'll have to make a, when I was moving stuff around, maybe I accidentally deleted my templates for this section. Here is the template folder for Spring 17.02, right? So that then is going to go into your themes folder, which then this you are going to build out as your theme, right? So that's why I'm saying you only need one repository. So what it'll eventually look like is if we go and take a look at the demo, right? Here's the main HTML, here's the home HTML, here's my original style sheets. We are then going to make index.php and all the other files from it. So we're just going to make that into our theme. Okay, does that make sense? So only one repository. For then the install and set up WordPress, right? Again, what I'm looking for is that you have linked to your proto sites, that you've set up WordPress. So if I go to, let's say, spring 2017-01, whoops, that's a repository link, spring 2017-01, by the end of this week, I should see that you have WordPress set up, right? And then next week, by the end of the week, you should have your menus, content stuff in there. But by the end of this week, I also want to see that you do have your repository set up on GitHub so I can go take a look at your templates, right? That's what's due at the end of this week, right? See, I have to ask you guys what's due when. April 19th. Install, right. Okay, so we, on Monday, did creating content with WordPress. We talked about putting in pages and postings and the difference between pages and postings. We talked editing and formatting text in WordPress for the most part. We're going to revisit that today because there's a couple of things that I want to then take a look at. And then we talked about creating navigation and menus. And today we are going to upload and use images in WordPress and go through that. So let's go back to the editing and formatting text in WordPress lecture here. Section 1 demo. Let's close some of these other tabs. Section 1. Editing, formatting text in WordPress. So when we went through this lecture, these screenshots are from an older version of WordPress, but you know they're still mostly accurate. In other words, when you go to so if you don't have a login link on your WordPress install, right, on the theme that you are using, basically you can, whatever URL it is, after the slash, then type in wp-admin. If you're not logged in yet, it will ask you to log in. So that is the URL to get to the login screen. That, or you can type in wp-login.php, either or. And so basically what we did on Monday was we set up a bunch of pages here. We set up a posting, right? And down the road, we are going to have, if I go to the blog section here, down the road, we are going to put in more postings, and we are going to use a featured image. We are going to use the excerpt field, and we're going to put in a few more categories, etc. But for right now, if you just put in one posting and left the category uncategorized or made up a new category, that's totally fine. Does that make sense? All right, I'm gonna keep on asking, does that make sense? It just, that's, you know, feel like a broken record. So if we then, let's say, I'm gonna go to my About page, because we are gonna edit some stuff on the About page today. I'm going to insert an image into the About page, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So in a page, remember that the right subpanel, whatever they want to call it, I just call this the rich text editor. This is where then, remember, you can toggle open, and this to me is kind of dumb. Why not just have that always open, right? Because I'm going to need to maybe change some stuff, etc. But nonetheless, getting back to the page editor or the rich text editor, right subpanel, whatever WordPress wants to call it. Let's see what I think it's the right subpanel. That is the official name. The right subpanel is rich text editor. So if we go here, what I've tried to do is in my lectures link to the spots, right, that then show you what we're talking about. Some of the links, they've been modifying the codex a lot and moving a lot of stuff from codex.wordpress to developer.wordpress. So some of the links might be a little bit funny if you're taking a look at some of them. But nonetheless, we talked about formatting our text, right? So in this text editor, if we hit that toggle button, we should then be able to see the whole kind of kitchen sink of buttons, etc. in here. So if we're in here, right, let's say we want to, you know, make a word bold. Great. It's just like Microsoft Word or whatever. We can bold it. We can italicize it. And if we do this kind of thing, then it is going to put the tags around whatever word, right? So this visual editor right here basically acts a lot like, you know, Microsoft Word, where I can then I spell that right? Sentence. A-E. Yeah, I look for the underline. I have a 4th grade, 2nd grade spelling, right? But this is where then I can, you know, if I want to make something bold or italic or whatever, so on and so forth. If I want to make the text color, this is the thing with doing some of these things here in the editor. If you change the text color like that to make it red, it is then going to give you a span tag with an inline style, right? So I try not to do more than necessary editing in here, but if you do something like that, you can as well put in your own markup, right? And if you have in your style sheets, you know, class of red, span class of red or whatever, it'll adhere to your style sheets, because basically as you are putting things here in the text editor like this, right? And if we view this page now, and if I then inspect, right, this is where then basically you can see that it is outputting the content with the tags and the classes and that kind of stuff. So it basically is then, again, however you set up your style sheet for your theme, right, it is going to hook into your styles like that. So one of the other things that we did not do in here is notice that this right here is a link. Okay, so if I want to say something like Mike Sinkula is, right, and then I wanted to say link to my blog here, or link to a PDF, or link to anything out there on the interwebs, because let's say you're writing an article that you're referencing something, right? So for instance, if I am writing articles I might say something like most of all the all-in-one SEO plugins for WordPress like this one, and it goes to that, that page. Well, I can then here basically go grab a link, highlight whatever text, hit the insert or edit link, woo, right? Hit apply or hit link options. So with the link options, then to say, open it in a new tab, or if I'm trying to link to something within my own website, right, I can, so if I hit this one, right, and let's say I want to link that word to a page within my site, I can go to settings and I can say, double click on blog here, right, and it'll link to that page in my site. Make sense, right? So that's how I do when I'm going through my So as I'm going through my school site and getting my schedule, etc., ready, right? All of these here, all these links here are basically links that then, if I highlight over one, right, I have just linked it to a specific page in my website, right? And let's say I, was linking to a page like this. If I wanted to then edit this and go under settings, right, I could search for pages within my site here to then choose to link to, right? So it's a nice little kind of thing of internal linking. But the thing with doing these links within your site, outside of your site, etc., is this. Anytime that you put in some kind of a link, whether it's internal or external, it is always going to, right, give you the absolute path of the link. So notice how it has the domain name and everything in the link path, right? So sometimes I've run into trouble in my own student site here, especially if the URL to the page is dependent on the permalinks in the website, right? Meaning the way that the website then converts the title to the permalink structure, the slug. Remember how we talked about the slug? So what if I change that? Because I can edit the slug if I want to, right? So I've run into errors. So if you ever, how many of you have ever been on my site and you try to click on one of the lecture pages from the schedule and it says not found? Does that happen to anybody? No? I try to do a pretty good job of cleaning it up, but basically if there's a not found, that's because I moved and edited things and I didn't catch the URL or something, right? So sometimes I have a habit lately, instead of doing it with the name path, right? I will then go, like let's say this lecture, I might then go and say view page source for this page. And on each page like this, it will give you, see this right here, the P equals 2755. It will give you the short link based off of the number. So sometimes I will link to the number instead of the long kind of permalinky SEO type URL, so that if I change things, it'll always go back to the number, which will then convert into the URL that it changed to. That may or may not make sense to you guys, but just go with me on that. All right, so basically that's creating a text link in there. Again, this is a little bit old of a screenshot. My TAs are the ones that are supposed to update the screenshots, right? Didn't you know that was part of your responsibility? You're supposed to go through my site from top to bottom, and anytime there's been a software update, you're supposed to take new screenshots and put them in there. Yeah. And luckily, you know, I haven't given you a login to my thing, right? In other words, that's not really your responsibility, Glenn. Okay. So anyway, it basically, you know, again, the HTML or the text portion of the pane, it has all the, you know, HTML tags and stuff in there. So you can then always go and like I said, here's the visual, great. I kind of do it the you know, push button way, and then I can always go back and edit things here as code as well. Okay, so that's basically editing and formatting text. Check that off the list. Let's now talk about uploading and using images in WordPress. So I'm going to use this sample photo. So again, as I mentioned, when you upload a file, an image into the WordPress admin, okay, it will then make 3 different sizes. Okay? So I typically, when I'm doing images like this that are basically things that I'm going to add into my blog or whatever, I make sure that I have a big enough image that then when it's presented in my website and it makes images from all those, from the main image, I make sure that the image I am uploading is big enough to then make the other sizes from, okay? So I will typically, when I'm doing my prep work for, let's say, an any of my lectures like this, right? Sometimes when I'm taking screenshots like this, I may not crop it 100% properly or whatever, but I typically try to crop my images to 1024, 768 before uploading them to my site, right? Especially if you are linking to an original image that you then want to show up here in your like little light box, right? Because what I've done here for this image, if we go to edit this page, this one particular image actually lives within the content of the page, right? In other words, I upload an image and actually insert this into the text editor, right? I don't do that with all images. It depends on the case of where we're using an image, okay? So you can see over here on the right-hand side, see this set featured image thing, okay? Using images for a posting or a page, there are two different ways of doing it. You can either set an image, well, there's actually three different ways that I'm doing it, but you can either set an image as a featured image that then, let's say, gets used here as this thumbnail on the feed for this posting. We are going to do this later on down the road, right? So remember when I brought this up a few minutes ago, and I have this featured image here, right? For the, in other words, if I go to here is the featured image, right? If I log in, and edit this, you can see that I am using a featured image, okay? Now, notice that there is no image actually up here in the text editor, but if I view it, I have it showing up here up top. So let's go back to my business site. So on my business site, I have used that featured image to then be the thumbnail and be the top level kind of featured image of the post, versus then the rest of the images within the post are inserted into the page, into the text editor. Let me show you what I mean. Again, I'm playing the how many WordPress installs can I log into. Are you guys keeping track? Dwayne, do you have a spreadsheet of every day? But not yet. You got your tea, so you're good to go. You're going to get started on it any minute now. So if I edit this post, again, there's no image up top in the text, but there are these content images within the rest of the posting. So if I look at the featured image, I have set that image as a featured image. So basically what I did was I uploaded this image, either, I don't remember if I uploaded it through the actual page here with the Add Media button, or if I went to the media library and added it through the media library, okay? But once I do upload an image like that, I can set it as a featured image, and then via code, say things like, or write out, get the post thumbnail for the page ID size thumbnail, right? So again, this is an example of the WordPress loop that we'll look into here in a while, but I can use featured images any which way I want to for that post ID. So that's how I then have set. So if I go to single.php, this is the template for a single posting. I've written a function, get featured image with link. If I go to that function, get featured image with link, I basically am writing a function that will, for the post ID, right, get for the page or post ID, get the post thumbnail size large, okay? So let me show you how when you upload a file, it does make those different sizes. So again, I've downloaded graduation, okay? And I am on my About page. So there's one of two ways that I can use or upload an image. Because I'm in a page and I'm working on editing this page, what I probably would most likely want to do is use this Add Media link button here within a post or within a page. So if I click on that, this is where I can go to my media library and find something out of my media library to insert into the page or use as a featured image if I want to. But I want to now upload a file. So I have that original 1024 by 768 file that I originally cropped. So if I go select files, and it probably put it in my downloads folder, graduation, open, right? This is where then it basically has now taken that file, uploaded it to WordPress, and made the 3 files behind the scenes. We'll go take a look at that in a second. But now that I've uploaded this, this is where then for each photo, it has a URL where it actually lives. So you can see that it put the original file in my uploads folder in this WordPress install. Let's go take a look for it. So when you are, what? It's on your server, yes. So if I am looking at my remote server in my WP, so I'm here now in WordPress Spring 1701. If I go to the WP content folder, uploads, it has just made a 2017 folder for me. Inside there, it has made an 04 folder for me. here is the original graduation JPEG. Oh, that's interesting. We made 4 other files. Maybe it basically put dimensions on the original size file. That's something new. WordPress is always doing new shit. They basically want me to be in class and be like, oh, I've never seen that before. Right? They do that to me all the time. But basically, you can see here then, I've uploaded that graduation JPEG, and it is then made the thumbnail, the medium, and the large size images out of that. And I guess now it's basically giving you dimensions on the original size image as well. That's new. But again, remember when we took a look at, so here it is uploaded underneath that URL. So let's close you. So if well, let's go take a look at that in a second. But here then, we want to fill out the title, we can give it a caption. We can give it alt text. So again, alt text, this is where this is going to be used in SEO. Okay, so I want to possibly say something more like, I don't know, whatever keyword dense SEO I want, right? And then lastly, description. So now if I insert this into page, okay, it inserted it at a medium size because I probably didn't select the size when I wanted to insert. But nonetheless, what we can do is, let's just for now insert it as a medium size. And then you can see here, no alignment, align right, align center, align left. If I align this right and say update and go view this page now, it's aligned over to the right because, and this will become very important down the road, you see this class right here, align right, okay? You will have to put in your style sheets style 16 theme, and I do a search for align right. It aligns right because in the style sheet, the theme is given it directions to align right. So when we get to creating a style sheet down the road, there are certain things like these classes that you are going to want to have in your style sheet. We'll get to that when we get to your style sheet. But nonetheless, it is now a medium-sized image, and it is over to the right. So if I want to go to edit page, let's go again, take a look at those 3 files. Remember, if we go under settings, media, it made those 3 files. Oh, large is 1024. Max, let's see. $1024, so 768.56. Where is that? Size. Thumbnail, 150. That we're 150. Medium size, 300. Medium size, 3 by 225. Large, 1024. Huh. The 768/567 size is the odd size. Ooh, it's doing some weird stuff. It wants me to be confused. But nonetheless, it has made the 3 files from that file because we have set those sizes. And these then are the sizes where you can then, for your thumbnail featured images, get an image and say, get the large size image down the road. Again, we're going to do that down the road. But going back here, let's go back to the About page and edit page. If I select this photo again, right, I can edit it. And this is where I can align it left, align it center, align it right, align none, size, full size. Link to. I can link to a media file. I can link to an attachment page. I can link to a custom URL. I'm going to link to a custom URL. I'm going to update. So now it is basically full size, or 1024/768. And if I update, in view page, it's a full size, or at least for the theme, and it links to that URL. Okay, so that is then how you use content images in WordPress. So if you are then writing an article like this, right? Every time I'm writing an article and I want to reference a screenshot based on what I'm doing, I upload, add media to, so if I say, if I look now for all things uploaded to this post, you can see that this posting has a lot of images that were uploaded directly to this posting. So they get attached to this posting, okay? So for instance, a third way that we are going to be using images down the line. So we have the 2 ways we're using images now. We're going to use, let me rephrase that. The way we are using an image right now is I have uploaded an image to this page and I have inserted it into the rich text editor, and you see it displayed in the page, right? A second way you can use an image then is to upload an image to the media library or this page, right? So anytime you upload an image, and you go to the media library, you will see all your images upload, in your media library, right? Oh, look at that. They've integrated this into Sweet. So what I was talking about, if I've uploaded this to that page, it is automatically attached to that page. So I ran into problems where I wanted to upload things to a page but not actually have them attached to a page. It can get really complex, Trang. Just don't worry about it. So I had to use a plugin to detach it from that page. Apparently now that is part of WordPress. So a lot of times what will happen, how WordPress gets updated, is kind of grassroots. A lot of people have a need, like they want to detach something from a page or a posting. Somebody will write a plugin that does that. If that plugin gets enough traction, WordPress actually might integrate that into WordPress core. It's pretty slick, right? So that's total grassroots way of doing it. Again, the second way to then use an image is let's just go back to this one, right? Upload an image to the media library, set it as the featured image for that specific, oh, look at that, I never put alt text. No, it's alt text. So, set it as a featured image, and then pull that featured image using code, right? Another way that we are going to eventually use an image is when we integrate Flex Slider. This is where I've said attachments. Go look to see if there are images attached to the page. If there are images attached to the page, if attachments, write out get images, attachment, full, write it in the Flex Slider up, right? And present. So this is where on my home page, right? This is where these images right here are attached to the home page. So if I go and edit the home page, you don't see any images here in the text editor. But if we go to the add media and look for uploaded to this page, you will see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of those spotlights. Each one of those spotlights then has a title, a caption, alt text, and look at the description field. So this is where we can use the description field, okay? So if I go look at then this function here, get attachment image that are attached to the page, size full, go get the post content for the get post field. This is the get image description field, right? So this is how then on my home page, and again, we'll do this later. If you're looking at this going, what? Don't worry about it. We'll do it actually later. This is where that function then goes and gets those 6 images attached to my home page, presents it in the Flex Slider markup, right? Gets the description field up there to present as a Flex Slider, okay? So you can use images in all sorts of ways like that. But what I want you guys to do is on your About page, upload a So again, if we go to the About page, upload a file through the media editor, right? Or add media button and insert that image into your page. Okay? Let's go take a look at the lecture that I was supposed to be following and see if I hit everything. That's my other fun new game, Janine, is just improv and try to remember what I'm supposed to be talking about and then double check to see if I hit everything. Makes it more interesting. I mean, do you guys really want me to go by my lecture? No, it's boring. So uploading and using images. Using the media settings, again, right? We talked about the media settings. And we can change those down the road. Again, let's notice that there are 3 default image sizes: thumbnail, medium, large. Upload to the media library or to your page once it's in there. Title, caption, alt text, description. Inserting images into a page or a posting. Hit that button. Title, blah, 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 etc. Right? Oh, what we didn't cover is you can then use files. You can upload files. You can actually insert something from a URL as well. So number 2, no. So if I, let's say, hold on. I want to download. I want to no. Well, let's say I wanted right here. So that's that file. And let's say I wanted to, I don't know, put it right here. Add media. I can insert from URL, add a caption, I can align rights, link to, none, image URL, insert into page. Edits. Oh, that's right. Because it's an original size image, I don't have the different sizes. But nonetheless, that is how you can use an image out there on the interwebs to then, this is called hotlinking, right? So it actually lives here but it's being hot linked and brought into my site. Okay. Title, caption, description, link URL, alignment, size. Now your page does, yeah, so we covered everything, Janine. Any questions on that? So upload an image to your About page. So yesterday I ended the lecture and I thought it was kind of funny, so I'm gonna do it again. Come on, camera. You guys ready for it? You ready for it?